Quintis isn't trying to fix the Brotherhood. He's trying to replace it. Not with unity, not with reform, but with something that can't argue back, can't split into factions, and can't hesitate once it starts walking. Because that post-credit scene wasn't a tease, it was a declaration. When Dwayne walks into Quintis's office with the remnants he requested, the base is still shaking from explosions and infighting. The Brotherhood is tearing itself apart, and Quintis isn't grieving. He's staring down at blueprints, like a man looking at a crown. He says he tried to unify the Brotherhood, and it got him nothing. So Quintis the Unifier is dead. Quintis the Destroyer is born. And sitting on that table is the real message: Liberty Prime Alpha. If you've played Fallout 3 or Fallout 4, you already know what that name means. Liberty Prime isn't just a robot, it's a walking myth made of steel, a propaganda machine with fists, a skyscraper that settles arguments by stepping on them. And that's exactly why Quintis wants it. Not because it's powerful, because it's a message. A moving billboard that says, "I am the future, and if you disagree, I will crush you." To understand how we got here, you have to rewind. When Maximus returns in Episode 2, Quintis doesn't greet him like a commander, he greets him like a father. He calls him son, he praises him, he makes him feel chosen. That's not kindness, that's recruitment. Quintis is already planning to pull the fractured Brotherhood chapters under his control, and when he unveils Area 51 buried beneath the desert, it becomes clear this isn't about scavenging technology anymore. It's about infrastructure, hidden bases, stockpiled weapons, power that feeds itself. Then comes the dinner with the other chapter heads. They worry about civil war with the Commonwealth. They know they'll be outmatched. Quintis doesn't offer compromise. He offers guns. That's the pattern. He uses belief to justify escalation. And then Maximus lights the fuse. Harkness sorts ghoul children from human ones and prepares to execute them. Maximus stops him the only way he can, with a super sledge. It's heroic and catastrophic. Because Harkness is Commonwealth. His death isn't personal, it's political. The elders panic. The cafeteria becomes a battlefield. The Brotherhood starts shooting itself. And when Maximus confesses, Quintis doesn't mourn a fallen soldier, he defends a plan. He talks about cruel and necessary order. He says civilization needs harsh decisions. Then Maximus reveals the detail that changes everything. Harkness was going to kill children, and they were ghouls. Quintis doesn't flinch because kids were about to die. He flinches because Maximus saved ghouls, and he reaches for his gun. That's the thesis of his character. His order isn't about protecting life. It's about deciding which lives are allowed to exist. Now go back to that post-credit scene with that in mind. Liberty Prime Alpha stops being fan service. It becomes a threat. In Fallout history, Liberty Prime was designed as a pre-war superweapon, a propaganda giant built for the Sino-American War. It could throw nukes, it could broadcast patriotic slogans, it could flatten armies. But it had one fatal flaw: power. Pre-war America couldn't generate enough stable energy to keep it fully operational. And what has this entire season obsessed over? Cold fusion. That's not coincidence, that's a lock and a key. If Liberty Prime's only weakness was power, and Quintis gets cold fusion, then Liberty Prime Alpha isn't a relic, it's inevitable. But here's what makes this worse than anything we've seen in the games. Liberty Prime was used against external enemies, the Enclave, the Institute. Quintis isn't planning to use it against his own Brotherhood. He's planning to use it against his own Brotherhood. This isn't defense, it's purge. Liberty Prime Alpha would turn a religious disagreement into a nuclear solution, and that changes the scale of the story. Because once something that size walks onto the board, normal fights stop mattering. Raiders don't matter, knights don't matter, even faction battles start to feel small. It's ants arguing while a boot hovers overhead. The Alpha label makes it even more ominous. It could mean prototype,
which in Fallout means unstable, glitchy, catastrophic. Or it could mean upgraded, bigger, louder, more destructive. Either way, Quintis isn't planning survival. He's planning domination. And the most tragic part, he believes he's right. He speaks like a priest, not a general. He wraps brutality in poetry. He calls violence necessary. He calls control salvation. That's the most dangerous kind of Fallout villain, the one who thinks he's saving the world. But Liberty Prime has never been invincible. In Fallout 3, it was destroyed by an orbital strike. The bigger the weapon, the bigger the target. And if Quintis boots up Liberty Prime Alpha at Area 51, he's painting a giant glowing bullseye on his own chapter. The Enclave is moving in the shadows. New Vegas is already a powder keg. The NCR, the Legion, Mr. House. Now imagine a skyscraper-sized war machine marching into that chaos. That's not war, that's reorganization by force. Quintis says the unifier is dead. He's right. But the destroyer he's becoming won't bring peace. He'll bring silence. And if you know Fallout, you know the wasteland doesn't get safer when someone builds a god machine. It just